Hello, hello. Houston, we have a problem. Every clock in my house says something different. My own Fitbit exercise watch is off. From my laptop to my clock on the wall, everything is saying something different, and I don't know why. I sync up my watch with my laptop, and they're not saying the same thing. Am I zapping everything? I kid you not, my energy tends to zap things in the house. Seriously, did you know people can do that? If you tend to resonate higher, or you have higher energy going on in your body, you can zap electrical appliances and things around your house. That is why I didn't wear a watch forever, ever and a day. And I have been through so many fitness watches, I cannot tell you. Anyway, that's not the point of tonight. Tonight, we are going to have a discussion about the power of guilt and people using that as a weapon. We'll talk about us feeling guilty, if you feel guilty, if you have the tendency to get stuck in that feeling. Some of us do, and some of us may have even used it as a tool. Just don't know. But before we get there, let me do my intro. Here we go. And I want to welcome everybody that is currently in the chat. I want to welcome Fields of Grace 101. That is Kim Taylor's new channel. It is inspirational. She will talk about the Word of God, the Bible, and break some of that down for you. We have Paranormal Witch. She is a sweetheart. She has 2 little twins. I know I saw Shannon Van, and that is as in Vancouver. She doesn't live in a van. Please check out Kim Taylor's Fields of Grace and Shannon Van's channel as well. Hello, Queen Bee. Bringing your butterflies in. Always joy to see you in the chat. Yes. I decided I wanted to talk about how people use guilt as a tool to manipulate people. And if I seem a little off tonight, I do feel a little kind of off. I had my first COVID shot today. And my system is a little different than most people's. And I am feeling a little wonky. So I know it's the first shot, and it may or may not affect people. You know, I feel okay generally, but I am noticing some internal wonkiness going on. But I don't feel sick per se. I just feel like a little zappy, for a lack of a way to put it. So if I seem like a robot missing a few screws, you may have to help me reset. I don't know. That's a crazy way of putting it. Yeah, I know. And let me tell you, in Georgia, it was 80 degrees yesterday. Today it is 52. It's probably more like 40 now. I kid you not. The weather here is very bipolar. It can be warm and sunny one day and just rainy and cold the next. And that is where we are now. But hello, Vintage Optimism, throwing down the butterflies. Thank you for that. Full on butterfly day today. Yes, thank you. But yeah, I'm cold to the bone. So I'm equipped with my hoodie. and my hair's doing its thing. So, whatever. I have to tell you, we went to my brother's for Mother's Day, and his wife cooked a bunch of stuff. I thought they were going to do a cookout, and it was for my mom primarily. They said it was for all the moms, but we know it's for my mom. My mom had a few glasses of wine, and my sister in law was like, "Oh, your hair's getting long." Out of the corner of my mom's mouth, she goes, "Yeah, it's pubic hair." Did you hear what I said? She called my hair pubic hair because it's curly. My own mother. Boy, my older brother, I'm older, 14 months older than him, but the older of the two, jumped all over her. He sure did. That cray cray mom of mine. Yeah, it was Mother's Day. I bit my tongue. I didn't say anything. We get in the car, and I said, "I didn't appreciate that comment you made about my hair, Mom." She goes, "What comment are you talking about?" And I reiterated it very calmly, very coolly, not in a uh, way to cause a fight. And she said, "I didn't say that. You're being paranoid." People! And you wondered why I went into the field I did. Just saying. I love her. Only Mama got. But just saying. You know what I mean? But anyway, onward and upward. Talking about guilt. When I was young, shoot, I felt guilty about things I didn't even do. And it was by virtue of who was raising me. Every time I turned around, I was saying sorry about something. And my grandfather was like, "You don't have to be sorry about everything." And I was like, "That's my go to because I'm going to be blamed about something." So as I got older, and I don't feel sorry about everything now, of course, but my mom is a pro at trying to use guilt to manipulate me to do something. Saying things like, "I probably don't have but about 5 more years. You know what my age is? I probably don't have but about 5 more years. I don't get to spend that much time with you." Knowing that I don't want to, what's the word I want to use? Have any, of course I don't have any guilt, but I don't want to, have any, oh crap, why can't I think of the word? Regrets about anything, right? I want to feel like I did what I could for my mom. Paranormal Witch says she can relate. See what she has up there. I just don't like picking up the phone anymore when people do that guilty trip on me. Me either. We have to be really aware of people playing these kind of games with us. I had an ex-husband that would do that kind of stuff. Try to make me feel guilty about things. Didn't want me to go spend time with my friends. "You're going to leave me at home? I'm out on the road all the time. I don't get to spend that much time with you." That's not my fault. But I would fall into that trap. Or your good friend that you don't talk to very often, right? Well, we don't talk on the phone, but, a few times a year. And in my head, I would think, "Well, girl, the phone works both ways. You can call me too." It doesn't always have to be me calling you, checking up on you, but that's kind of the way it would fall. A lot of that is why I tend to give people grace. I don't set people up in a position where I have a lot of expectations of people, because I don't want to make them feel like there is a have to, or they have to worry or feel guilty if they can't show up for something or they're not there, because life happens. Life happens. There's going to be times I can't show up for things. I mean, when Noah was here, he had special medical needs. I never knew from one day to the next. Hello, Chris Singleton. Thank you for being here. I never knew from one day to the next what was going to occur in my life. So if someone wanted me to be somewhere for something, if it was really, really important, Stephen and I would split off. And I would make sure he could be with the kids and things were set up appropriately so I could be somewhere, or vice versa. We never would guarantee that we both were going to be at a place, because we did not know, because our life was different. And we would offer the same courtesy to other people because our life was different. We did not put them in back them in a corner where we set up expectations where if things didn't occur, we were going to make them feel guilty or hold them their toes up to the fire. We just let people, we loved them where they were at, for lack of better. Sometimes you have to love people where they are. Because when people use guilt to manipulate you, is that really love? Is that really a friendship? I mean, we have to look at that. If they are consistently using guilt to control the relationship, to control the narrative, and they're making you feel a certain way, look at the pressure and the intensity of how you're feeling. Excuse me, I'm itching. If I feel that kind of pressure from a friend or family or what have you, now in my life as I'm older, I tend to resist or make heavy duty boundaries, because I don't want that in my circle. I want to resonate up here, in the feel good zone. I don't care if I'm blowing out my clock or the microwave or my watches. I want to be in that zone. I want to resonate higher. I want to draw those kind of people around me. Oh, I like you too, Chris. Thank you so much. I don't want my emotions to be so heavy and weighted down that I have to do tricks and jump hoops to keep certain people in my life, because they're using that. Watching with my pug, she is special. Oh, girl, I want to show you something. Don't mean to get off track. And I don't know if you can see him. You may not can. I've got, maybe you can see if I back up, a ton of little teeth marks all over my arms and my ankles and lower legs because of my puppy, who is 10 and a half weeks old now. Yeah, Cleo has those sharp needle teeth and a lot of energy, and she is always going for my skin. So I've got teeth marks all over, and she's so smart. I've got her to settle, sit. She can shake with left paw, right paw. She can lay down. She can high five me. She can give me a kiss, but she will not listen worth a crap about no bite yet. Honey, those love bites are more like vampire bites. I kid you not. She gets my finger and won't let go, and I'm standing up following her because it hurts so bad. Yes, she does. If anybody has any suggestions, I'm about to get a spray bottle of water and see if that works. She's starting to get a tiny bit better. That crap hurts. She's smart and beautiful and funny, and I know she's a baby, but it hurts so bad. And she's not doing it out of meanness. She thinks she's doing playful love bites, but ooh, it hurts. Anyway, getting off track. The guilt thing. I would be willing to bet, and I know if you're a mom, I'm guilty of using that on my daughter. A little bit. Not the heavy duty, power trippy kind of thing. A tiny bit. Yeah, I've used that. Girl, I've carried you for almost 10 months. Do you realize how hard it was and how much pain and blah, blah, blah? Girl, playing with her. Or, I did your dishes. Don't you think you owe me so and so and so? I mean, I've done those kind of little guilt things with her. I don't do any of the heavy duty stuff, and we're open enough here that she can have conversations with me, and have little debates without feeling all guilted out. Oh, condition playtime and get gloves. That way she knows when it's nibble time. Ooh, I hope so, because I got her a rope and everything else, and a towel, etc. But anyway, I would be willing to bet every one of you at some point or another has used guilt as a tactic. Am I right or wrong? Let me know in the chat. Have you used guilt on someone at some point or another as a tactic to, hello LMS, to get them to come to your side of either thinking or to get them to do something? I'm guilty. Yeah. I had to look at my own behavior. But have you also known some people that use it as a weapon? When you weaponize it. Like, they get good at it. Now, think back paranormal. You might have used it on a small scale. Sometime in your life, we have all done it. I would be shockingly surprised if you haven't done it in a tiny way to someone. Because it's human nature. It could be a sibling, a friend. It could have been when you're younger. But some people weaponize the crap out of it. And they do it as a normal part of their behavior. Shan says, I was raised Catholic. I'm used to people guilting me. I rarely give it back, and when I do, it's sarcastically. You know, by nature, I was always, well, let me rewind a second. Let me take a sip of vitamin water. When I got the shot today, they were like, because of some of my issues, you're supposed to drink anyway, but they were like, make sure you drink some vitamin water. So I am. Anyway, my mom would use God and guilt as a tool. Now, was she a heavy duty churchgoer? No. But because of some of my intuitive abilities springing when I was like 7 or 8, and she saw that, she brought God into play really quick. And she used to say to me, they used to burn people like you. I was 7 or 8. I kid you not, 7 or 8 years old. And she would say, they used to burn people like you. What? I was terrified. Rightfully so, terrified. This is before my near-death experience. But when she would want to take advantage of the fact that I was intuitive plus, she would ask me things, but she didn't want me to talk about things, and I didn't even know what any of it meant, to be honest with you. But she knew what it meant, and she was messing with my head. They used to burn people like you. Don't talk about it to anybody. It messed with me so badly, and she used God as a tool, that I went to a priest and asked him to save me because I thought I was going to hell. I kid you not. That is the truth. I was terrified. Yeah, Shan. She's something. I love her, but she's something. So I asked him to save me. I wanted to be dunked in water, saved, whatever he could do. He came to my mom asking, could I please be saved and go to that chapel, whatever. My mom refused because she did not want me to go there out of fear. Hello? Who gave me the fear? Who gave me the fear? I'm a little kid. Who gave me the fear? I know in some way she was trying to protect me, but she gave me the fear. So it messed with me. So be that as it may, I carried a lot of guilt as a kid. Lots of guilt. I felt guilty for being a way that I wasn't sure how or why I was that way, and why was I that way, and why did I know things and feel things? Why did God make me that way if it was bad? And if people weren't supposed to be that way? Why did God make me that way? Why did I know things? Why did my mom say they used to burn people like you? Why do you say that to a 7 or 8-year-old? And I'm oversharing. I'm sharing things with you guys. It's a good thing I'm a small channel right now, right? I'm feeling overly friendly. I'm sharing things with you guys that I generally don't share. This was me. Look, I've been spiritual my whole life. This is me discovering. This is how I discovered that I had gifts that I couldn't even put a name to. This is my introduction to me through my mom, right? So I had a healthy fear of God because she used God to sort of manipulate me. So I lived with guilt since I was a little kid, and that was a way to manipulate me. So I was afraid to do anything wrong. I was afraid to do anything wrong. I wasn't perfect. That is not what I'm saying. It made me afraid to take a lot of chances until I got older and more cognizant. Let's see. Shanna's saying, you have so many stories about your mom that seem traumatic. How are you able to maintain a relationship with her still? I mean, she said in front of a group of people, just says ago about your hair. The people were my family. Let me blow that up because I can't see it good. I mean, she said in front of a group of people just says ago about your hair. She said it in front of family members, my brother and stuff, that know she has issues, right? She had a couple of glasses of wine. I have been able, and a lot of it's because of my studies, I have been able to separate the behaviors from the soul. There is a lot of good to my mom. Here I am talking about some of the funky upness. We're going to say it like that. The funky upness. There's a lot of good to her too. I cannot change her. It has taken me years and years, and therapy too, to be able to accept that, and a lot of love and support from my family. And there are moments I still struggle with it. But be that as it may, I was still born of her. That is the only mom I have. I can't trade her in. As much as there is some, there are issues with her, there are good things about her too. I have to give some grace. There are things that still do hurt, but there is a soul in there, and I cannot change it. I'm not going to live my life with regret. If she were a patient of mine, would I have more tolerance and love? Would I be able to see to the heart of her and know where some of the behaviors come from? When you're able to understand where possibly some of the behaviors come from, then you are able to have a little more tolerance and kindness and understanding. I'm more or less how do you put it? Target, I guess. And it is what it is. It does take a toll on me sometimes, but what are you going to do? I'm surrounded by unconditional positive regard every day. And I have to work on myself spiritually every day. I am not perfect. And as a human being, I look within myself literally every day and try to better myself all the time. Because I am flawed. And sometimes I can catch myself trying to obsess on how to fix things, make people understand more, try to communicate in a way that might fix an issue. But sometimes there are individuals you cannot rationalize with irrational people. No matter how much your heart's into it, no matter how much you wish they can see, if people aren't self-aware sometimes, you can't fix that. And that's been my biggest struggle. The part that makes me spin out sometimes. And that's what I have to work on within myself. So, it is what it is. We all have our crosses to bear, and we all have our shadows, right? And we all have our light. And I work really hard every day to just try to make my light bigger and to be really aware of what's in my shadow. And enough about that, right? Enough about my junk. But we all have junk. And like I said, even when you become a therapist, one of the key things they tell you to do is go to therapy. So you don't project your stuff onto people that you are trying to counsel or help. Because you can't help somebody if you're stuffing all your crap in all the time and you're not working on yourself. And how do I take that off? Thank you, Chris. I do try to forgive a lot. Spiritual hero, I don't know about that vintage. I don't know if I'm any kind of hero. But I do try to be better. Fields Grace. Kim says, I had to forgive my mama for myself. I don't want to hold on to the hurt. I got pregnant at 16. Had to get out of her home. That had to be really hard. Vinny says, hey, my mom drank tequila today and she called me the most unhappiest person in the world. Sometimes people say things without thinking. Some people don't have filters. My mom definitely does not have any kind of filter. My mom and I had our moments, but I too loved her so much. Had to forgive because of the guilt factor. Guilt sucks. Thank you, Shan. Wow, what you did, Field of Grace. LMNOP. I agree with you 100%. I forgave my mother on her deathbed twofold. I understand why she was the way she was that stemmed from childhood, and I wanted her to pass peacefully. Forgiveness is hard, but we do have to forgive for ourselves often. I'm working on myself and move from this hurt the Steeman put me through, and guilting me is hurt because he doesn't take no responsibility for what he has done. That is the hardest part sometimes because we want people to take responsibility, but we cannot force them to. You know, you'd like to be able to blow things up on a big screen and say, look, you're telling me X, Y, Z. But in this, you're not hearing or seeing or smelling what your part in anything was. Nada. And some people are like that. They are blind to their participation in their life or in the world. And they see things always as what people do to them. But we always have to take responsibility for our own stuff. And I have found that really helpful to me. And it is something that started when I was a kid. Now, when I was a kid, I had brothers. I didn't fight with my little brother because he was like 5.5, 6 years younger than me. And he was like my real life doll. You know what I mean? Because he was my little brother. So cute. But my brother that was 14 months younger than me, we would bicker and fight. Not fist fight, but, argue all the time. And not all the time. We always had each other's back, but we would argue and carry on because we were so close in age. And it would be like, he did it. No, she did it. You know, that normal stuff. But as I've gotten older, I always look to myself first and look to myself, what could I have said better, done better? How could I have acted better? If this occurred again, how could I handle it better? And I try to observe that way and step away and take responsibility that way. But then when I do that, it helps me to separate to see where their part is. So I don't take on everything. You get me? You have to be able to, with clear eyes, see what does belong to the other person. But you can't give everything to the other person because you are in charge of how you respond. You have control over how you respond to the other individual or to the person that's trying to guilt you. You have control over how you respond. It's like saying, they guilted me into robbing that bank. They can give you guilt to try to make you do it, but ultimately, it's your hands, your body, your feet. Unless they are holding a gun to your head, it's your choice. Vintage says, but it's hard when you love them. It is hard when you love them. It's hard when it's a parent. It's hard when it's a partner. But you have to look at the big picture and look at what is the greater good. It was easier for me when I had children because my focus was on what is their greater good? What is their greater good? Because when I had them and I'd walk through hell backwards for them, it made me see everything else more clearly. I wasn't as easy to tolerate bad behavior from adults outside of my children. It made me get some balls, for lack of better. Made me get some balls. I was not going to put my little ones through a lot of stuff. Whereas I would tolerate so much stuff with my mom. Now I have my limits. I try to ignore a lot of stuff she says and move on. Now, I have my limits. If it just gets too much, I will calmly say something. I can calmly say something, and it doesn't take much to trigger her. Because a lot of people do not like to hear what their bad behavior is. It doesn't matter if you're singing it like a love song. But ultimately, don't let people use guilt as a weapon. For you, for your own health, for your own ability to resonate higher, and especially if you have a family and you're bringing that yuck home to them. Look, sometimes I can be around her, and if I don't say anything, again, I love my mom. She's very smart. I'm not trying to make excuses. But if I'm around it and it's like dragging my energy down, it's like my husband says, he can feel my energy when I'm walking through the door. If it's been a bad visit. Because I'm tanked up. And I have to release it. I have to do something to release it. And it lifts the energy back up. Some people, you know, my mom's getting on up there. I'm not going to cut her off. But some people, you feel like you have to stay connected. Other people in your life, you don't have to stay connected. If it was a different way, if there were a difference in the situation, maybe she would be a person I would completely cut off. But that is not the case. But other people in your life, you have to make the decision who you cut off, right? You grow up thinking that you give people second chances and that you love everybody and that you don't cut anybody off. Sometimes you have to. But I'm going to drop the link and we're going to talk about different circumstances that, sorry about this ding ding ding, that you feel like you have people trying to manipulate you through guilt or circumstances that you feel like maybe they're doing that to you now. It could be friendships, anything. Little kids do it to each other all the time, especially if candy's involved, right? It's true. We all did it when candy's involved. Hey, but I'll let you play with my toy. I want some of that candy. I'll be your friend. Don't you remember those days? I'll let you ride my bike. You can come play with my dog. But I thought I was your best friend. Let's see what LMS says. Since not having children of my own, I treat my nephew as a son. For years, he guilted me into things besides my better judgment. Finally, I put my foot down, and the guilt doesn't faze me anymore. That is good, LMS. That is very, very good. And, I can remember being younger and saying, but Dad, so-and-so's parents let them do it. Does that sound familiar to anybody? And my dad was like, well, I don't care if they jump off a bridge. Are you going to do it? If they run out in the middle of the street, are you going to do it? I was like, no. Well, there you go. So we have to use our noodle. But it's all over the place. Guilt is a very toxic substance. It can be very malevolent and it can be very sneaky. You don't always catch it sometimes. It can come in many forms and hidden in packages of love, right? The things we do to each other to get what we want. And sometimes it just builds and builds and builds, and the stakes get too high. Why do we let some people do this to us? Is it that we're afraid we're going to lose their love? Do we not want to upset them? Is it because they're unstable? We're afraid we're going to trigger them somehow? If it's like LMS says, if it's about children or nephews or young people we love, and it's really, really hard. If it's someone young that has had substance abuse or mental health issues, and they're finally getting stable, and they're on a good path, and you just want to cover them up and make everything wonderful and joyous, and you don't want to upset them, or maybe they have had a hard life before, and you feel guilty about that you're doing everything for them. My daughter didn't use guilt as a tool. The small kid things. But because my son Noah needed so much attention, so much hands on, and Eden was typical. She could run around and walk and stuff. And I would often feel guilty because our life wasn't, your everyday, uh, the Joneses next door, that I would give in a lot. I would pick my battles, but I would give in a lot on certain things. She wasn't like a spoiled brat. She's been a good, polite kid. Don't get me wrong, but and Steven's the same. We would give in on a lot of things because we felt guilty. We felt guilty that we could not do a lot of the get up and pick up and go, do a lot of the typical family things. We had temperature control problems. We had to, put the wheelchair in the car. And just, our life had to be different. And we knew that made her life different. So we allowed guilt to run our life. We allowed it to have power over us. It became its own essence in our house. Not a person, per se, but it became its own weapon of authority. And we had to become clearly aware of that. I mean, I became aware of it. And I had to have a talk with my husband and say, look, we are allowing guilt to run us. And this is why. And we need to shift gears a little bit. Because if we don't, this is what's going to happen to her. And I knew exactly cognitively what was going on and why we were doing it. And sometimes we have to take a look at ourselves. Are we allowing guilt to become a power tool in our own homes? Are we feeling guilty about stuff and allowing it to take over our choices? Right? LMS says, I feel when someone guilts me into something, I feel so cheated thereafter. I've learned over the years if it doesn't feel right or organic, then no words can sway me otherwise. Absolutely. It sort of makes you resentful and angry, right? If you're guilted into doing something that is against your nature. Have you ever been guilted into doing something that is against your nature? It's not even you. It's completely not your personality. It's against your very nature. But because it was your friend, your lover, you did it. Yes, it angers me if it is against my nature. But because it's someone we love or care about, we're like, okay, I'll do it for you. We're making the sacrifice. We're becoming the sacrifice. That's what it is. We are becoming the sacrifice for someone, or we're becoming the sacrifice by virtue of our own creation. And it never feels good. And honestly, if we're becoming the sacrifice for a friend, a lover, or someone else, that friendship's not worth it. Honestly, the cognitive sacrifice Uh-oh, you've got the thing turned on.
Better?
Yeah.
Sorry, continue your thought.
I said, if we become the sacrifice by virtue of a friend, a lover, someone that we care about, they're not really caring about us. So we have to sort of look at that relationship and make decisions.
What if you're an actual wicked person?
Why do you feel like you're a wicked person? That is curious to
Oh,
me because you drop little seeds here and there.
I'm totally a wicked person.
Why do you say that? Because when you're in here, you do not come off that way.
Would you have questions for a wicked person to confirm whether or not they're wicked?
Okay, here's the question: what within you makes you identify yourself as a wicked person? What behavior have you done that makes
Oh,
you beard?
um,
You don't have a beard for one thing, or a
uh,
mustache.
maybe not wicked exactly, but perhaps emotional disassociation.
Meaning you cut off emotionally from people.
Yeah, people suck.
You don't associate emotionally to your connections.
Yeah, again, people suck.
But you come in here,
I love you.
but I'm
You
a
couldn't.
people.
You like. I'm gonna every Wednesday and Saturday. I'm here just because I adore you. Everything you say resonates with me, and I find you adorable.
Well, thank you very much, Vintage. And I feel the
Yep.
same about you. You just have an essence about you when you come in that people embrace and find you adorable. But I'm a people.
Yeah. No, you're not a people. You're a person.
Okay. But you said people suck.
Yeah, people suck. Like I'm talking about like a whole bunch of people. Like if you're gonna like see a whole group of people, like if you're waiting in line for something, they're all gonna be dicks.
Okay. But you are naming people as a whole, but there would be individuals in that group that wouldn't suck.
Yeah, but I don't want to make friends with them. Have you been to the Bronx? No one
No.
wants to make friends with people here.
I've never been. I've never
No,
been.
but when you go to New York City, no one's like, "Oh my God, let me go to the Bronx and just meet the population." Yeah, nobody's like that.
Yeah, I've never been in New York or New Jersey or anything like that.
Yeah, no, trust me. Yeah, exactly.
They
Nobody.
probably think I'm a hillbilly anyway.
Yeah, well, they think I'm white, so that's how it goes.
In your life,
Yes.
have you been manipulated by guilt? I mean, as
Yeah.
someone using it uh,
Are you
as a
kidding me? Yeah, absolutely. My
power
mother's
tool.
Catholic. Absolutely. Uh,
So,
my mother is Catholic, and she outed me to her Catholic family in Chile. Like, yeah, I trust me. I know guilt, and I
so
was raised Jewish, so
how did they respond when she did?
oh, they don't talk to me. I'm a faggot.
Oh, that had to break your heart. That had to hurt.
I don't. Maybe it hurt. It turned into rage. Is that the same thing?
Anger is just an emotion that covers hurt.
Yeah. So rage. Like if I
So
was going to be a Marvel superhero, I'd be the Hulk.
yeah, so that's
Yeah.
deep hurt. Yeah,
Yeah. And
deep hurt.
green is my favorite color.
Yeah.
So I have definitely been guilted into doing a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't want to do. And I think because I'm such a passive person, I get like manipulated into doing things I don't want to do until I'm in the situation, and then I'm like, oh shit, you know, it just
Yeah.
happens.
So after that occurred, how did it affect your relationship with your mom?
Um, I don't know. I do little evil things, just to annoy her.
Example?
She likes milk in her tea, so I'll make sure the carton's empty. There are also a variety of other things, but yeah, also little annoyances like she likes to play with her feet, so I'll steal her shoes. Yeah, I'm
Little things that make you feel better.
well. It's called revenge, Dana.
Yeah.
Vengeance. I would like to say vengeance, but it's not that much. I just do
It,
little
sa-
stupid things.
it sounds like an 8 o'clock show on a Thursday night.
Well, I'm getting tired of watching those housewives, so I gotta entertain
Yeah.
myself.
You could probably write a show about what's going on in your household, and it would be very interesting. Heck, I
Oh
could
my
write.
gosh, I would feel very bad for the people who would want to watch that show because it's pretty ridiculous.
You know, I think
Um, Go ahead.
I think about the stuff that goes on with me and my mom and stuff. You know, on one hand, sometimes it's hurtful, but on the other hand, if I were to write it as a sitcom, it would probably be hella funny to people. That's the sad
Yeah.
state of things. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean because it's just that level of ridiculous. I feel like when you have that level of intimacy with someone, you can make certain jokes that they're really funny, but they're only appropriate to a certain kind of person. And I think that's what black comedy is, that like dark, like, ooh, you know,
I mean,
because,
what's painful to you is funny to a lot of people
yeah, yeah, that's exactly true.
because they're like, "Ooh, she got her." And you're sitting there like, "Oh, that
Mhm.
hurt," because that's my mom. Yeah,
See, and that's also thing because my father, he's a first generation Holocaust. My stepfather, adopted again. He's a first generation Holocaust survivor. So his parents were in Auschwitz, and then there's my mom who was in Chile. So first 9/11, you know.
yeah,
So both of them just love talking about war and like death.
yeah. Depressing, right?
I it's depressing when you think about it, but both of them just like laugh it up. They're like, oh, oh, oh.
Right.
So it's a weird
And then,
house.
and then she says you're unhappy,
I am the most unhappiest person in the world.
but then they talk about death all the time, and you're like, no wonder. I'm just kidding.
Actually, so they this joke happened like 2 days ago on Monday, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick up playing the piano again. So I've been doing Scott Joplin. I've been playing ragtime music. It's like, all right, I think if I'm the most unhappiest person in the world, I should learn a good ragtime song at least. No?
So, what did she say when you start playing it?
Oh, she said, why don't you play Mozart?
Alrighty then.
But I don't know. I think having a sense of humor, and it's like, as far as guilt goes, um, I don't know if I've ever guilted anyone into anything, but um, I definitely feel that some of my depression has rolled into other relationships, and maybe being prone to negativity, maybe guilted someone into doing something like actually continuing to be with me because I'm a horrible person.
No, I don't believe that you're a horrible person. But listen, when you give yourself these messages,
Yeah.
you're
I call
re-
them affirmations.
but you're reiterating these things in your soul. I mean, you
Yeah.
laugh about it, you laugh about it, but
Yeah.
your spirit's taking all of this in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you feel about that?
Dark?
Does that feel good?
No.
So don't you want to get rid of it?
Yeah. But I think this is just a part of me and I have to just embrace it. Like I have to embrace the darkness within me and sort of focus on the positivity. So
Right?
like when something positive happens, I have to just continue to, like when you have a bad day,
Yeah.
I don't get the option anymore of indulging in the negativity. I like the minute I feel like crap, I have to drink tea or go for a run or go for a jog. Like there are certain things that I cannot sit in my own self-indulgence because then I might do something naughty, like guilt someone into doing something stupid, like something negative.
Right.
Again, horrible person.
No, you're self-aware
Oh,
of,
exactly. That's what's interesting. I'm self-aware, so I know what I'm doing is bad.
but what I'm saying is if you're using a different outlet when you're starting to feel that low,
Hmm.
that's healthy.
Yeah, so I did like 3 miles on my bike. I swam about 4 miles, like in the pool. But it's exhausting. Do you know how many hours there are in a day? There are 24 hours. How come no one told me that?
And you
That's
garden.
not funny. That is not like, oh my gosh. Like, I read all the time. Oh, being good is exhausting.
But you garden.
Yeah, absolutely. I garden. My lemon
And
boys are coming in. I got my heirlooms. I got my cherry tomatoes. I got two kinds of kale. Yeah,
I bet
I wake up at 5:30 in the morning to take care and tend to my plants. Then I ride my bike. Then I go swimming. Then I paint. And I still feel evil.
you are
Like
so
I want,
funny.
like I just feel it. Like I want to do something naughty. Like I was so good all day. Let me just no. Does anyone else feel this? Is it just me? You don't like, when you're so good for such a long time, you're like, ooh, let me have that glass of wine, but let me bring someone over, like, no one, no, is it just me?
Sometimes I feel naughty, but I
Well, like,
think we.
what's your level of naughty?
I haven't done anything naughty in a long time, so
Well, again, like, what's your level of naughty? Like, it could even be like, oh my goodness, hello, husband. Like, what's your level of naughty?
I like watching Good Girls because I have a crush on the bad guy in the show.
Oh, that's so cute.
I want to see the lady leave her husband and take off with the bad guy in the show,
No, I could, yeah.
and that's wrong.
Is it?
I know it's wrong,
Oh my gosh. There's so much wrongness.
you see what I'm saying? I know it's wrong,
But you still want to watch it? This
but
is why
I
I watch The Real Housewives.
but I still want her to leave her husband and take off with him.
That's bad. But it's very good because it's fictional scripting.
Yeah, and because it's like a way to get out some of your naughty
Yeah, exactly.
vicariously.
Vicariously. That's absolutely right. Yes.
Because these three women were desperate. They needed money. One's daughter had a medical problem. I think she needed an organ, a heart, or something, or a lung. The other one, the man had been cheating on her, and they were about to lose their home and everything. And the other one, I forgot what she needed it for, her kid or something. So they started out by robbing a grocery store. And they didn't know that that money was connected to a mob. So they got hooked up with this mob like gang. And the head mob guy is Rio. You gotta watch it.
Well, you never know, you know. That's why there's like that number on money so they could trace it. I mean, I was always taught that money was supposed to be a receipt for gold in the bank, but
Yeah.
I know America doesn't have that much gold, so
But, before you know it, they end up money laundering and everything else.
yeah, that's
And,
exactly what
and you're like,
happened.
whoa, these three housewives are robbing a grocery store and money laundering. And
You know, I lived in Japan for 7 years. I came back home and I was like, oh my gosh, reality TV. What's this? And I started watching The Housewives and I really liked it. And now almost every single franchise has a talk about guilt. I mean, like, ooh, everyone has some kind of like guilty shame that's going on.
yeah, but they're supposed to be different. That's reality TV, and I'm just like almost over it.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it too. I don't like watching people be gross just for the paycheck.
Or be
I,
mean to the people that are viewing the show.
yeah, that as well. I remember the first season of The Real World where people actually had etiquette and morals and jobs. And I don't know. I feel like now it's just deteriorated. It's completely deteriorated. So it's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
she said she doesn't feel like she needs to be naughty. She flourishes in the light. I do like being in the light. The funny thing is, I used to love watching scary things when I was a kid, horror movies and stuff like that, because
Oh, I could totally see that off you.
because I wanted to feel like that they could be killed or overtaken, and that the darkness and evil could be diminished. That light wins in the end. And then
Mhm.
I was all over watching Charmed, right?
Oh my gosh, she liked Charmed.
Because I thought that of course I would be have a lot of power, but I would be able to go back and forth and be the one that could be the light worker and the witch.
I love that. And I can see that for you because I think having an understanding of both the darkness and the light, that actually, I don't know, you're supposed to be a well rounded person. And for me, I think that's why so many people uh, come to this channel. I mean, you have such an empathetic heart and an understanding for darkness, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You come from an empathetic place where you just want to understand people.
Well, people become complicated if we're here for a human experience in the world. Then the world is school, right? And we've
Growth.
all
Yeah.
have some kind of backstory. We've all been through some kind of pain. We didn't make it to this point easy. I don't believe anybody made it to this point in their life and it's been just a cakewalk.
No,
I mean, if everybody said it's been easy breezy, they're lying.
that's true. Uh, well,
I just,
also depending on your age as well. I think if you, I guess that's why like if you've ever experienced being, because I feel like guilt is also a form of manipulation. If you haven't
yeah,
been manipulated at some point in your life, you haven't been living.
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
It's unfortunate, but it's true. And I think it's an unfortunate side effect of the human condition. because you always get guilted into doing something, and then it's only after you do something you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But by then
Right.
it's too late and you just feel like crap.
I hate that feeling of being guilted into doing something. Because, have you ever had a friend ask you to do something?
Oh yeah, I'm a gardener. Yeah, it
And
happens all the time.
you know you should have said no? You
Oh,
know,
yep. Hmm.
and you said yes anyway?
Yep.
And the minute
Yeah.
you hang up the phone, you feel that heaviness?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So again, gardener. So I had to ride my bike at 5:30 in the morning to go to Bissell Gardens, which is at 225th Street. That's like 20 minutes away on by bike. Keep in
Whoa.
mind the power of my flesh. So everyone in the Bronx hates my ass. So everyone's trying to like bump into me while I'm just riding my bicycle, and my only job is to pick up garbage. I'm
I
not
don't
getting paid, by the way. I'm not getting paid. They're just like, oh my gosh, can you just pick up some garbage and weed the rest of the dandelions before we start planting in things like our heirlooms, our rosemary, our oregano? So I have to get there, and everyone treats me like crap every time. So,
Why? I don't understand.
again, look at the pallor of my flesh. In that neighborhood, honey, no. Everyone treats me like crap. Are you kidding me?
See, I'm not from there, so I don't understand.
Oh, okay. So I live in the Bronx, and where I garden, because I'm the artist in residence, it's a predominantly Jamaican, Dominican, Puerto Rican neighborhood.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm Chilean and I'm Jewish, and I look very white. And the minute I open my mouth, unfortunately, due to the cadence of my speech and education, everyone wants to punch me in the face. So I always get guilted into doing bullshit jobs just for the garden, and I always get treated like crap. But I still do it because I love the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love that garden. Like it's my favorite place. I don't care that I get bullied all the time because I think it's a beautiful place. And Chuck Vassar, he wants to do a butterfly garden. So I want to graffiti some butterflies so kids can actually just have markers so that they can design. After we graffiti the butterfly stencil down, they could just do the designs on the butterflies.
Oh, wow.
So we're working on a donation and a patent for that. But even that, like, everyone just treats me like crap. It's amazing. It really is amazing. No, you
When
don't
you,
like that. Like
what?
it is so stunning how nobody wants to help anyone, and like talking about guilting people into doing things. You guilt people into doing things, and then once something's done, you're expecting some kind of like accolade, like, all right, cool, this is done. Nothing ever happens. Like you get guilted into doing something, and then there's nothing ever happens. In every situation, when you get guilted into a situation, guaranteed there's no result.
Have you ever tried to, before you go there, go into a quiet place and just imagine being in a brilliant light and expanding it? Just do a mini meditation before you go.
Uh, yeah, I have. I mean, I meditate every day. Uh, it's just the bike ride over there.
Yeah.
It's always a crap show. Everyone tries to kill me. Again, look at me. Again, the Bronx. Everyone tries to kill me.
So when you communicate with them, when you talk with them,
Yes.
do you get eye contact or anything?
Everyone at the garden, yes. The people on the streets, uh, everyone's crazy on the streets. You have to be as crazy to sort of equalize it. So if there's a conversation like, "Yo, white girl, what you doing up in here?" you have to like match that, which is very hard for me because I'm not that person.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. That's a
Yeah,
shame.
wait. So in a situation like that, am I being guilted into acting a certain way?
It sounds like self-preservation.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
But that idea about the butterflies and everything is just
I love that.
such a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
idea.
So I planted a whole bunch of perennials to encourage bees because I'm hoping that next season we can actually get bees in a certain garden. Uh, I'm working on getting finances from the board to see if I can do that. But it's the same kind of crap. Like I'm too white. Wait, I'm too Spanish for the white people, and I'm too white for the black people. I feel like Pete Davidson. I'm like that weird kind of mix, like Chilean Jew. What are you? So it's really hard because I always feel guilted into doing things. Like everyone at the garden treats me like crap. Like I just pick up shit. Like that's my job.
Well, maybe you could try some kind of fundraiser on your own, online or something.
Oh, actually, I tried that. So, you know how Stan Lee is actually from the Bronx? So, the Bronx is trying to make an avenue based on Stan Lee, and I'm trying to get a whole bunch of artists that are from the Bronx to just do face painting and have some kind of fundraiser. Yeah, no one gives the Bronx any money. It's a true thing. Like in New York City, the Bronx is universally the largest contributor of the arts, hip hop, graffiti, everything from the Bronx. We don't get any money.
Hmm. Have you thought about trying to call around and see if you can get people to donate a plant or donate this or that, the other?
Yeah, I've tried.
Nothing.
No, man, nobody likes the Bronx, bro. It's a
Mm-mm.
serious thing. Like it's on par to like Staten Island. The only boroughs that are recognized are oh wait, the only boroughs that are recognized are Manhattan, which is pretty much a ghost town right now, Brooklyn, which is doing well, and Queens, because Queens and Brooklyn are connected. But
Well, maybe.
oh my gosh, JC, yeah, like, JC Bear is totally right. I should just say no one time. Yeah, the only problem is I can't
Why can't you?
because when someone asks me to do something, I'm just going to do it if I feel it's just. I don't care about the work. That's not what matters. Like I feel like if the cause is just, I'm going to do it. Why wouldn't you do it? It's just gardening. So for
Yes.
me, yeah, like I don't care about that.
It sounds like you have a way with plants. Sounds like you have a green thumb.
I love plants.
They love you back.
Love them. Yes, and they love me. It's an entire communication. Like they don't talk back.
Hmm. What does that garden need?
What does it mean to me?
No, what does it need? You know, you
What
said
is
you
it?
needed to raise money for.
Oh, for Bissell Gardens, so in order to get kids back from the Summer Youth Employment Program, we just need to write a proposition for the grant. That's it.
And you said you weren't able to get help for it.
No, because all the money disappears.
How much money do you need?
I just need money for supplies. That's it.
So
But
how?
but that's what's so funny. Like you write a proposition and you go to the board, you have a meeting, right? And even if it gets approved, like you still have to pay. do more work to get like invoices for the supplies and everything like that, and then all the money just disappears. I've been doing this now for 5 years, and again, I'm not getting paid for this. Artist in residence, but like
How much money do you need?
just for supplies, like I don't know, like $200 or something like that. I just need money for stencils and like spray paint. That's it.
Okay, I
I
think
have everything else.
when do you need this to happen by?
I well that I'd have to talk to Chuck, but wait, why? You're
Because
asking serious questions.
I want to do a fundraiser.
Oh wow, this is serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me talk to Chuck. It would just be on one side of the wall, and all we need to do is just paint it white, and then we spray paint the butterfly stencils, and then it's all about getting kids the acrylic markers so that they could just paint onto the butterflies whatever they want. That's it. That's
Okay.
the entire idea.
Okay. Well,
It's
then why
like
not us
less
do a
than like,
fundraiser and make it happen?
oh wow, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
It's Bissell Gardens in the Bronx. It's right by 225th Street. We have 5 gardens. Also makes Bronx hot sauce. All of the produce actually goes back into the community because of COVID and everything like that. So we actually are trying to fund certain things so people can get produce. Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what I.
butterflies for the Bronx.
Yep, that's butterflies for the Bronx.
And we're butterflies in here.
Mariposa.
So that's what we can call it, butterflies for the Bronx.
That'd
And
be
what
awesome.
you can do is just take pictures and show us.
Yeah, are you kidding? I could even take you. Oh, word, I got you. It's an awesome garden.
So we'll plan to do a fundraiser so we can just make it happen.
That'd be
Then you,
awesome.
then you don't have to worry about all this other stuff.
Nah, I'm definitely gonna tell everyone on the board about your channel, and that'd be awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's just not worry about all the other dark stuff in it, this, that, and the
No,
other. Just do it.
all the it's not dark. It's just the Bronx.
But you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying, but yeah, it's
The
just what you
paperwork,
do.
people not caring, and all that other stuff. The heaviness. Let's not worry about it and just make it happen for the kids.
Yeah, well, because especially with COVID, I just love the idea that there could just be markers there, and you could just choose a butterfly. I know it's encouraging graffiti, but graffiti is also part of the Bronx, so why not just color in a butterfly?
Look, we need something positive out of all of this.
Yeah, and
And
it's right at the like Bissell Gardens is right at the dead ends at 225th Street. So like just the fact that you can walk there and there's a huge garden and you have that opportunity, I love that. So
if
like,
this community can have a hand in it, cool.
well, I mean it's the community, but yeah. All right, cool.
See, everybody wants to help.
Oh wow. See, the Bronx. Yes. Save the Bronx.
And then we'll just
Screw Brooklyn. No,
PayPal it or Venmo or
yeah,
something.
that we'll figure it out. But yeah, I just love the positivity, to be honest, because I was a little anxious about it because it's a strange proposition to make. I don't know, like sometimes don't you feel like you get guilted into doing something that you shouldn't like do? But this is something that's so positive.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, I can feel it in my heart and my gut, and I just impulsively say, let's just make it happen. So I know it's the right thing to do because I'm real thoughtful about things I say. And I usually think things out really heavily, but integrity is important to me, and I like to walk the talk. So yeah, let's just plan it out. Give me a date, and we'll just make it happen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
You have my word.
You're so old school.
What do you mean?
There's so many like old term like you have my word. Like it's like a Game of Thrones thing. Like we got this. You have my word. You know?
Well, maybe I'm not from this time and place.
You see, you're doing it right now. You're doing the deep voice.
What?
Yes, exactly. What are you talking? I might not be from this time and place.
Would you rather me talk like this to you?
No, no, not at all. Was that your Hugh Grant?
Well, I would hope not, because I'm a female.
No, like you know, like your Hugh Grant. You know, I'm bumbling and I can't finish a sentence.
Yes, JC Bass said making an offer I can't refuse.
How come JC Beer is following up? Look at his lazy butt.
I don't know. Maybe he's not feeling good today. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he worked too hard. I just don't know.
Well,
Hey, this is helping. I had the COVID shot. I've been feeling wonky, but just being with all of you always makes me feel better.
I have a question.
What?
Okay, so there are 3 COVID shots, right?
Yes.
Which one did you take?
Oh, great name, Bramage. I didn't take Moderna. I didn't take Johnson & Johnson. I took the other one.
Well, that doesn't help because I don't know. Oh!
I took Pfizer. I took Pfizer.
Okay. Bear's in the house?
Hello. Bear. I took Pfizer because I talked to a bunch of pharmacists and stuff, and they said because I have MS, that it was more recommended that I take Pfizer.
Okay. So
I got Moderna. They had a hotspot pop up in my condo items, and I had Moderna.
A hotspot. What?
Here, when there's a hotspot where there's a large amount of COVID cases, they'll do a pop-up vaccine clinic.
Oh.
So they come to you. So I was supposedly in a hotspot, and I got the Moderna shot. So I was happy. Some of us were finishing a late dinner vintage, and I now know why you're a Captain Kirk fan. And I will guarantee you the next time I'm in New York, we are going to have a healthy debate at those gardens so I can see those butterflies.
I know. And thank you, Jen Farrell, my friend. I've known for her. I know so many people. I have people on the internet that I have literally known since I was pregnant with Eden. Isn't that funny?
That's not funny.
They saw me with my big pregnant belly when I was pregnant with her.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that normal that when you're pregnant, you make friends with people and then they remember when you were pregnant?
No, but I'm just saying to be friends that long with people that you've never met in person.
Oh.
Yeah, that is, but yeah, I can see that. I can see that, and they follow you from social media to social media to social media.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you got your posse. You got your crew. You got your main crew.
You got your posse. That might weird me out personally, but then again, I'm not pregnant, so.
Oh. Girl, I looked like I was having twins when I was pregnant with her.
I look like I'm having twins now. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
COVID belly.
It's just the COVID belly.
She was a big baby.
8 pounds? 9?
No, they took her early. If I had waited till she was due, she would have been over 10 pounds.
Wow.
Yo. Is she listening? Is Eden like listening to this?
No, she went to a show, so I'm safe.
Oh, okay. Is she like 6 foot tall?
They thought she was going to be, but no. She's 5'4".
Oh.
Eden's 5'4"?
I would have totally thought she was like 6 foot.
I thought she was like 5'10".
They expected her to be 6
I'm 5'10".
I will see in New York if you're 5'10" and no wearing heels.
please. I can't wear heels. Are you kidding me? Inanimate objects bump into me. I don't wear heels. If anything, docks.
I'm just looking forward to it because I've never been yelled at like that before. So we can get yelled at together.
I get yelled at everywhere I go. I ask way too many questions.
I only wear heels on special occasions.
I can feel you. Like, do you rock like a serious heel?
Who, me?
Yeah. Like, an unce heel? Like, like bow chicka bow heel?
Back in the day, maybe, not now.
When the style called for it, Dana.
Like, so you don't wear stilettos anymore?
I do not wear stilettos. I'm more of a clog girl now.
Comfy.
I'll wear a high clog every once in a blue or a chunky heel or something like that. But yeah, stilettos and stuff, I'll break my neck now.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
I don't like shoes that hurt.
Haven't worn heels since a long time ago during a Halloween party. Didn't turn out well.
They may look pretty, but pain, not my thing. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm married now. I don't need to wear that.
See, you have a partner. You don't need to work anymore.
Oh no, you still have to work. You still have to do work. I'm
still wearing a Star Wars shirt. No girl's gonna find that attractive.
If I'm gonna wear a stiletto, I'll wear it laying down, but I'm not gonna walk in it.
Just for the photo.
Yeah.
Yo, you.
Vintage.
What?
Do you know how many times I used to see my mom growing up walking into the wedding hall, full heels and so forth. But once she got onto that seat, out came the slippers and the heels got kicked under the table.
Yeah.
They hurt.
Yeah, my mom used to do the same thing, but yeah, I would just steal her slippers so she'd be stuck in the shoe.
You're not meant to walk like that with your heel up here.
No, but it makes your calves look great.
Oh, of course, but oh Lord.
It's funny though? I always thought about this. I think it was a Dave Chappelle quote. You know how like your butt, you can't tell that your butt's flirting with someone because you're not looking at the person. Like, I feel like your calves are the same thing. So like when you wear your heels, you can't tell that your legs are like, oh, hi there.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
It's so true though. You can't tell. Like your butt, you can't tell if it's flirting with someone all pert. You're not looking at the person, right? It's a thing. It's another thing.
You could have walked by somebody and had that little spark, and of course your whole body posture changes because as you're walking by, you're going to take that little look behind, not at your own behind, but to see if they're looking at you.
Yeah.
So wait, I got a question for the bear. Do you pert your bottom when you walk by someone?
Maybe? Well, let's just say I may do. If I see somebody approaching that I may have a little spark with, I'm like, hey, and then you do a little bit more of a walk and straighten up a bit more.
Sashay.
Shantae. But I mean, unfortunately, vintage, your experience is what the majority in our community experience. I mean, going back a little bit, and that type of guilt, I totally get where you're coming from about, little revenge tactics.
Well, I'm vicious.
Then you have to get Dorothy vicious on Golden Girls. Like, don't worry, I'll make sure that you get into a good home when needed. Stuff like that. It's like, yes, I'll come and visit you. See, that's the Italian side of me.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you tried to do little horns, didn't you?
I did. Do you see?
That's so
Yes,
funny.
but it's like with all the guilt that either came from friends or family, like in our childhood, it's kind of like I've always tried to go, like, my parents were responsible for my childhood. They were good in my opinion. They had their moments, and trust me, there was a lot of screaming and yelling in my household. Um, but I'm responsible for my adulthood.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
if I want to do changes for me, then it's up to me to either, you know, go see a therapist to help me work through certain items that if I can't handle them, you know, sometimes, just come on here, have my dinner, just listen to you guys chat helps on certain things that, if I've had a bad day like today, like work was nuts, I was just happy just sitting here listening to you guys gab and, having some late night dinner and just like, till somebody called me out. A certain person in the Bronx.
I can't help it if I adore you.
Oh, I
And
adore
you
you too. We'll rule that garden if I can get down there.
I
It
don't know,
just
you two are
sounds.
my favorite people.
Aw. It
Oh,
just
I have a
Oh,
sounds.
lot of fun.
and Miriam. And I have a
Yeah.
thing for Shannon Van.
It
Super
just sounds.
weird.
True.
It sounds like it. I mean, I can visualize it in my head, and yeah. Just give us a date, and I will start doing a dedicated fundraiser.
Yeah, let me just check in with the folks at the garden and I can give you more information about it. Because I'm sure we're going to try to actually do a summer youth employment program to get kids there this summer, hopefully with COVID. But we do work with a lot of retired folks and Vietnam vets. So
Oh,
Very cool.
Paranormal Witch said, "Hey, but what about me? I adore you, Vintage."
what?
She said, "What
I'm
about?"
always shocked when people like me. Oh, paranormal's my babe. Like I always like, come on.
But
I feel love. I feel
yeah,
love. And I'm
you
still
better
wearing a Star Wars shirt. So like the fact that everyone thinks I'm cool and I'm still a giant nerd is kind of funny. I feel like Pete Davidson from SNL.
just make sure that there's a coffee shop that sells industrial size cappuccino, and
Oh,
we
I
will have
can
a
make you a
good.
cappuccino. I'm a barista.
Well, that's fine, but we're going to need the big leader one because we're going to have a long debate in that garden.
Are you serious? All right. I'm down, bro.
Hey, you're a Kirk fan. I'm a Picard fan. We're gonna talk.
You need to try the rice experiment, Vintage.
Picard, you say.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got distracted. Sorry.
You need to try the rice experiment.
Which is because I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
You need to take 2 jars of cooked rice
Yes.
and cap them up and tape a piece of tape that says hate on one and love on the other. And each
Okay.
day, take the one that says love, and every loving thought you can, just place it in that jar. Or you can
Sounds
even
like
say
voodoo.
words of affirmation, right?
Okay. I
You
can
can
do
think
that.
of your plants when you hold the love jar. And the hate one, you can think of everything that pisses you off.
Can I think
What?
hold the
What?
no, just kidding.
You were breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's okay.
No. Say it. Say it, Vintage.
Can I think of you when I'm holding the love affirmation jar?
Of course, you can think
Yeah.
of me.
David's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever.
But they can't be self-deprecating.
Oh, but I'm very self-deprecating. Again, I
I
was raised by
know.
a Jew.
I know, but you can't be, and our community always are more self-deprecating than others, but you can't be self-deprecating.
But on the
Fair
hate one,
enough.
everything that makes you mad, like when you're driving to work, and when you're bicycling to work, all the people that don't want to let you by, the people that don't say thank you, all of that stuff. when you're holding the hate jar, right? Everything that makes you mad, put it in that jar. Okay?
Okay.
What you will see over days, the love jar will stay white.
That's voodoo.
No, it's not. It's the energy you're putting into it. The hate jar, all of the emotion that you're charging it with, it will start to rot in that jar.
So only shake the love jar, don't shake the
No,
hate.
no, don't shake them. Just hold it, and you can think about or say out loud everything that you're feeling that has to do with love. Like, I love my plants. It makes me feel good when I go there. All that emotion, right?
Mhm.
And the hate one, everything that makes you mad. I
Okay.
hate it when I'm riding my bike. I hate it that they don't say thank you. You know, all of that stuff.
They don't appreciate my work. They'd be
Yeah,
lost without me.
yeah. You don't shake it. You just hold it and say the stuff, right?
This is my hate face. I
Right.
got it.
And you
Oh,
will
you're
see
so adorable.
on the loved one, it will stay fresh.
Angry face. I mean,
It will stay fresh for a while, and on the hate one, you will see it start to go bad.
I do
okay.
that when I'm cooking my food or making homemade sauce. You got to talk to your food. Give it some love. Tastes better that way.
You know, you can energize your water just by charging it with positive stuff. Yeah, you can charge your water.
Positive affirmations.
Well, just by positive, you know, visualizing and charging it with energy.
I believe that. I think if you add any kind of positive, it. I always thought like if you throw something into the water, you know, you can see the ripples. Like if
Right.
you add a negative thought into the universe, like it just and
Yeah.
it just turns into crap.
Hey, Kennedy! Did you know you can put your energy, do the same thing with your plants? If you
I
focus
do.
on loving energy, it's going to flourish, right?
Yeah, well, I talk to my plants all the time.
Right. It's the same concept. If you were to put a lot of negative energy around that plant, it would die.
I transferred my bok choy. It was dying. Talked to it all day. It's beautiful now. So
But what do you say? But what did you say to it?
I speak in Spanish.
Okay,
So, ay Dios mío, qué linda mi preciosa.
You're
Stuff like
so
that.
beautiful. I love you, precious.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
mi preciosa, mi hermosa, qué
So,
linda.
so guess what? That's your first affirmation for yourself, dear.
Yeah, it's a jar experiment, Paranormal Witch.
Yeah.
Don't yet me. You
Yeah.
know, if when I get less Yeti, I'm going to be having a raised eyebrow when you go, yeah.
Oh, really? I can't see your face, but you can see my eyebrows. Wait.
That's
See,
right. But
evil
yeah.
face.
So if you can give love to the plants, then the plants would respond accordingly back to you. So that should be your affirmation to you.
Well,
So, I
yeah.
mean,
Well, I'm gonna eat them villainously because
But that's what they want. They want someone to love them and to enjoy them
and then
because that
eat
was
them.
their purpose. Yeah, that's their purpose.
and you're putting that into your body, which is putting that healthy energy into your body. It's a cycle. Kennedy Napier's here. She's like my second daughter. I love her.
Hello, Kennedy.
Also very empathic and intuitive. But going back to when we were talking about the guilt, we all need to look at that around us. If we're trying to live in a more healthy way, if we're trying to resonate higher, if we're trying to be in the light, if we're trying to just have a more generally happier life, we need to look around us and look at who is trying to use guilt as a way to manipulate us, as a tool to control us in our life. Right? And be very aware. If it's a family member that you can't shut the door on, at least make very strong, healthy boundaries. Right?
Yeah, like go away.
Yeah, or
That is
limit your time.
that is so hard during certain holidays.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like the guilt of why can't you come over earlier, or why can't you do this, or why it's like
Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you bring this? Oh.
Or why can't you spend more time with me?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
and you can't
Yeah.
really say because you drive me up the wall, but
I love you, but I'm here if you need me, but I
I
love you,
thought
but
we were gonna go together. Why can't you? Because you bother me. Like there's only a quota of time that I can allot for the day, like 2 hours, if that.
but if it is a friend or a relationship you have that's intimate or whatever, you've got to step back and take a view and realize it is not for your best interest.
I'm very lucky that all of my friends are amazing. I'm very good at choosing people I adore, but that's because I've got family that I'm stuck with.
I've let a few rats get through my screening process, and I've
Are you
eventually gotten rid of them.
serious?
Oh yeah.
You're one of the most intuitive people I know next to Dana. How did that happen?
During your coming out days, and you think everybody, loves you, and everybody you can trust everybody in the
Right.
community. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a few that slipped through the wire, and then I just finally said, you know what, bye, and slowly just backed away from it. And I've had a better crop of friends ever since.
Kennedy says speaking words of positivity into your coffee before drinking it is a great way to start the day.
Oh, trust me, you would think coffee was my partner. It'd be like,
I can't drink
although
coffee.
I've cheated between Ethiopian, Colombian, some Green Mountain, so from Jamaica. So, but yeah, I love my coffee, so that's easy for me.
Oh, I love my coffee, especially I don't do it often anymore because I shouldn't. But especially if I can get whipped cream and put on top. That's so bad, but I love it when I can.
Very cool. So we got a couple of things to plan for then.
Yes. Plus, we need to plan that 35 question.
True.
35 questions. Wow. That sounds like a
Are
test.
you compatible? No, it's just a compatibility. It's
Yeah.
like going down and saying, "Hey, how are you? So, what type of movies do you like?"
Can you get to know somebody really well just by asking those questions?
I'm so incompatible with everyone.
Oh, please.
Dude, my favorite movie is Mr. Deeds Goes to Town next to Empire Strikes Back.
So we just got to find you an equivalent gamer.
Yeah, a 67-year-old woman. That's creepy.
Oh my God! You live in New York City. You have so many.
I swear, I could probably date Sonia Morgan.
Oh my!
We could all date.
As weird as me.
I'd be the intern. I'm just saying.
Exactly. I'm just an intern. Yeah.
I don't think she's that picky anymore. Or maybe she is. I don't know.
Yeah, she is.
Ramona, on the other hand,
come on, man. Dude, I went to the Met last week, man. She's still hanging about.
Oh no. But you live in New York City. You have all those film schools. Trust me, there is a gamer vintage movie chick for you.
Maybe. Maybe I'm just too apathetic for love.
Well, that's a whole other show.
Maybe that's what it is. I'm sort of, I don't know. I'm kind of into me right now. Like,
That's
which is all good.
That's an awesome thing, actually.
Yeah, I'm, spray painting my Spocks all over the Bronx. You know, I'm reading my Emile Zola, organizing my comic books. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm living life.
there is a question. Does vintage take Dominican? Because I am Dominican.
Word! I love me Dominicans.
Hello, paranormal witch. Paging paranormal witch.
Paranormal Witch is my boo. Oh my god, that's Paranormal Witch? Are you
Can we not read the comments while we're on here?
Wait, let me check my phone.
Oh my god. Oh,
Yo, that is so cute.
I do see a little blush to the cheek there.
You need to yo, Bear. You need to tame that. You know, I'm trying to look cool. And I'm on the channel. So
that's right.
You know. Wait.
That is so funny. I'm almost blushing. I'm sitting here blushing, and it's not even about me.
I'm like, maybe we can have 35 questions for these two.
Yes, I can totally answer them. Do you want to ask me one?
Well,
it's not today. Your Benny's is all excited now.
Well, I'm trying to look nice.
I like you with the little horns.
Oh, okay. It just grows that way. I don't know if you can tell. Like, do you see? Like, there's this weird like fluff that's just like coming out this way.
That's because you keep yanking your hair up.
No, it just grows that way. This isn't like just again Spanish.
Just be thankful you have hair on the top of your head, okay, ladies? That's all I'm saying.
I almost made a Dana joke. I cannot believe your mom called you big. Sorry, a moment of silence.
But I don't think it does, but that's okay. I got hair.
Yeah, I got hair.
And she gave it to me. So what are you gonna do?
When like it's just
it's all good. So Willow, that means you're gonna have to come up during the 35 questions.
Yep. Well, we got one match going on. A few more to go.
Yep.
That's gonna be cool.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, I'll love it. Y'all will love it too. It'll be real fun, I think. Yes.
This is all good.
Well, we're gonna.
So, what kind of questions would you ask?
I'm not telling you now. You're not going to get to prepare now. That's not how this thing works.
Well, I just wanted to know if I had to do homework.
No homework.
I told you last time, no. You don't get to prepare for this kind of thing.
You're supposed to be yourself, so you find out. Oh, don't make that
was my
look.
Unappreciative face. You have to understand OCD.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
LMS has said, logging off now. Good night, sweet dreams to all. We love you so much, LMS. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Everybody, make sure you like and subscribe. I forget to say that if you didn't like and subscribe.
Yes.
And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more Dear Dana.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And don't forget, gentlemen out there watching, you can come into the chat. Don't be a lurker. It's all good. It's very gentle. Trust me. It's not rough in any way. Just come in, pull up a chair, and enjoy.
Unless you want it rough, but you know.
Oh, yes.
That's a whole other show.
Why wouldn't the gentleman want it rough? How come no dudes ever call in?
Yeah, I know, but I look at my analytics and they're watching. They're just not.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Dude, stop being creepy. I don't appreciate like, just watching. That's
maybe they're shy.
That's not shy. That's creepy. You're just watching and you're just like, no, man, that's weird. It's nonsense. Come on. You're supposed to be a man. Just call in. Hello.
But no, you know what? Some people might like the content or want help about certain things, but they don't want people to know they're watching. You know?
Yeah, guys are more guarded about that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, buff. Mm-mm. No.
See, my baggage is carry-on size, so you know,
Oh. Oh,
I've worked
see.
real, I've worked really hard to get it down to carry-on size, so I'm good.
And you know, some people may consider this a tiny, tiny mini version of therapy. And people don't believe in therapy. A lot of people don't. Or their cultures don't believe in going to therapists or what have you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can understand that, and I love that you're trying to rationalize pussy behavior. But like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, how easy is it? Just call in. I mean, just chill out, ask a question, and then be like, "Oh, well, I gotta go."
Or,
It's easy.
or I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
always good.
exactly. So, Dana, I'm asking for a friend who lives in the Bronx. I mean, I don't, just do something like that. I just feel like, I don't, it's not that hard. I think maybe there is that moment of anxiety. I had that moment of anxiety before I called in, but then it
What do you mean? I
almost,
guilted you into calling in.
okay, well, why don't you bully other people into calling in?
He snorted.
So,
Oh my
I
god.
do that all the time. I'm so happy to hear somebody else do it.
I
Oh god,
swear
yeah.
too. Oh, but it's not that,
I
I
know,
just
but
feel like once I called in, I felt more included into this community, and then more motivated. I tell
Yeah.
all my friends about this community, and my cousin watches in Chile, my sister watches in the Heights, and like I feel like expanding this kind of community of it's a very therapeutic community. I feel love, and there's always a cool topic. And Dana, you always kill it. You always teach me something that I thought I knew, and then something I had no concept of, and then I don't know, I get more invested.
Oh, thank you. You make me feel better because sometimes I wonder if I'm not
Nah,
boring.
man, you're fascinating.
no, I mean, like I told you, there are sometimes I may not be able to contribute, but if I'm sitting here having a late night dinner, which usually happens on Wednesdays, I just put on my headphones, listen to the talk, listen to what you're discussing, read the comments, what other people's experiences are. Some of it I can relate to, some I can't. And I just enjoy just sitting back, listening, and just going, makes sense. Or, I should try that and see if it works. And then there are other times I just, dinner's over, come in, hey, how's it going?
That's right. Get bullied into it.
You can't bully me, you Kirk loving gamer geek.
I
Oh, you
laugh.
can try.
How do
I
you not
appre-
do that?
I appreciate every single one of you all the time. And I always love when I see new faces and get to know the essence of new people. And it's funny, a lot of people, I don't even know what you look like, but I can feel you, if that makes any sense. I
Yeah,
can feel I can feel you before, not that like that, crazy girl. I can feel you before I see you, like the essence of who you are. Does that compute?
Huh?
Does that
well,
compute?
that's because you're in tune with your empathic side. You can feel people's energies.
Yeah. But it's just cool, and I really want to be able to raise that money and get that going, and see the
Thank you.
kids drawing on the wall, and then we can't hear you gripe about it.
I'll find something else to gripe about. Trust me.
Oh,
But
yeah, but then we'll tackle that when it comes up.
yeah, but then you can be like, wow, it's actually done, and I didn't need to deal with all of you guys.
But
I,
if we exceed the amount that you need, you have to put it into a fund for the fall season. and what
Well,
has to
yeah,
be done.
absolutely. Everything would get funded back into the garden.
Oh,
I
that
just
is
find
so
it
cool.
really weird that I go to the board and you get a certain amount of money and then it always just disappears. And I've met the head of the board. I've seen the car she drives. I know where the money goes. I just find it really weird. It's a community garden. Like, why would you steal funds from a community garden? That makes
You mean
no sense to me.
allegedly?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I've met a woman and I can say allegedly, but I'm just going to make this face because I know where it's going. It's
Nice
just
beamer, but
creepy.
we can't afford tulips, right?
No, but like if you look at the Bronx, the Westchester Arts Center closed, the Bronx Art Center closed, the Bronx Documentary Center closed. These are all artistic centers that have closed within the span of even before COVID, and they're still getting funded even though they're
They're
closed.
closed.
That is bad.
That's weird. I'm telling you, this is like the Bronx is the worst. And you know that movie, The Joker? Oh, hello, Joaquin Phoenix walking down the stairs. They did that at 3 a.m. and Bronx was not funded. Usually you would be like, oh my gosh, we have to pay Manhattan this much money because we're going to shoot something. Bull! They did it at 3 a.m. so they didn't have to fund anything.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm telling you, like the Bronx is worse than Staten Island. Because at least Staten Island has Colin Jost.
Well, I usually have the farthest north I've gone is 98th Street.
Ooh, west or east?
To 98th and 8th Avenue.
Yeah, you're on the west side.
Yep.
I just hope to get to see it one day.
I've gone as
Yeah,
far south
before it burns.
and I've gone as far south as Jane Street. No, I've actually gone down to where the new big building that replaced the Twin Towers.
Oh, that place. Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
I
Yeah,
had a
sad.
fantastic time there. I mean, they've done a beautiful job, in my opinion. It was, for me, I come from north of the border. I went down there. Yes, it is sad, but it's beautiful but sad.
I've seen it on TV and it looks beautiful,
Yeah, okay.
but it's not the same.
No.
Every time I see that building, I remember the taste of human dust.
Well, you were there.
Yeah,
in the
man.
city.
First day of school.
I forget how
actually,
young
it was
you
my
are.
first day of college. It was my first day of college. So yeah, every time I see that building, I just think about what New York City was, not what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in the Marvel movies, when Thanos is like, "I'm inevitable," it's kind of like, it's like that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cute. You're trying to make something emotionally credible or something like that for younger folks to feel like they can relate to the situation and recreate something that's dead. But yeah.
But I'm just saying, I think from everything that I've seen, they did a wonderful job. Like the experience going up in the elevator and the whole graphics and how New York started to what it is today. It was just an amazing 3-minute ride that, you know, before you knew it was over. That's just my opinion. But
I can understand that.
From somebody, I mean, like I remember it as a full-fledged adult down in the financial district up here where everybody was losing their minds.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a whole other story, whole other episode thing. I don't want to. When we get together, we're going to have a whole day of talking, so you better make sure the coffee place is near.
Well, guys, I better start wrapping this up.
Thank you so much, guys. Dana, I love seeing you. And Bear, you're my
Yes,
man.
and you're my woman.
You're my man.
You're my woman.
And you're my
We got
people.
this, and we're Dana's people.
We're all
Anyway,
butterflies here.
True.
I'm glad
Oh,
all of
the
you.
paranormal witch.
And we'll find out. Our first allotment is taken, so now we have to work on the second two.
Yes, because I think you're one of the contestants, right, JC?
Yes, you should be.
Me.
You should. You're doing it.
Well, you have to find someone equivalent. I'm working on it.
I can find someone.
If you find someone equivalent, I'll go on. That's not a problem. Oh no, I've given Vintage a mission.
We just need to know we know they have to be intelligent, empathic,
And sexy.
Fun,
and they have to have a decent job, educated.
Decent job? It's a pandemic.
yeah. Now it's hard to find people during a pandemic. They just have to have skills. I don't care if they're electrician, construction, office. Listen, my dad was a construction worker. People that work with their hands, I got no problem with.
What's the age? Age range?
Normally 35 and up.
Okay.
It's weird. I've been attracting 20-somethings, but 35 and up should be fine.
Okay. Well,
20-somethings? You robbing the cradle?
No, I don't approach them.
Well, we have a lot going on. I'll pick the date. It's probably going to be closer to the end of June so we can get well organized.
Pride Month, yay!
We're going to do the 35 question to love connection, and we're going to do the fundraiser for the garden. So, 2 things on our plate. I will see you guys and gals Saturday night. I don't know the topic as of yet. Of course, I'm wonky. I'm feeling okay from the shot. I'm so happy everybody came tonight. I hope you got something out of our topic about using guilt as a tool. And I love you all so much. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please like, subscribe, and share. And remember, your vibe attracts your tribe.
Definitely.
Mwah!
Mwah. Bear hugs. Keep safe.
Thank you all, butterflies. See you later.
Ciao.
Bye, JC Bear. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Love you, love you, love you. And that is a wrap. Bye, everyone. And we are off. And let me play my outro. If I can find it. I always say that.